latest on Subtropical Storm Alberto for the Louisiana area. 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time, May 26th. Sees the storm located at 18.7 north, 86 degrees west. A tropical storm watch is in effect for parts of the state, including metropolitan New Orleans and Lake Pontchartrain. 40 miles an hour and a pressure of 1006 millibars right now, and the storm could deliver significant rainfall to the area over the weekend into early next week. This is what it looks like on the model forecast run. You can see it developing into a tropical storm, and then by the looks of things on Monday making landfall probably in Alabama or Mississippi, although of course the track forecast can deviate east or indeed west. This is where the storm's located right now. It's just off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, but its influence extends far to the northeast of where it is right now. Indeed, you may well see how interesting it looks shortly on the satellite imagery. Tropical Storm Watch for Tulum to Cabo in Mexico and for Pinar del Rio in Cuba, along with the locations in the United States from Indian Pass to Grand Isle. This is how it's looking in the region then as we enter the weekend. The percentage chance of storm conditions along with the rain overlay there, the forecasted rainfall as we enter the early part of next week. Sunday evening looks to be the time when the rain will really start pouring in, and then especially on Monday. But it looks here that the western side of the storm will probably be the weakest, the one that carries the least precipitation. The eastern side will carry the most. Of course, if the storm moves further west, that means that rainfall, high amounts of rainfall, will be significantly more likely. Nonetheless, flash flood watches are already in place for large parts of the state. Sea surface temperatures look like this, around 27 or 28 offshore, inland around 26 or so, and cooling off. Here's the latest radar imagery, some thunderstorms out to sea and along the coast as well at this time in southern Louisiana, but at the minute elsewhere it's looking fairly quiet, maybe a few storms developing, popping up near New Orleans as well. Here's how it's looking on the National Weather Service office's pages right now, and this is what they're talking about. They're talking mainly about the storm, of course, right now. Greatest concern will be very heavy rain as the storm approaches the north-central Gulf. Rainfall amounts, they say, between 6 and 10 inches. Of course, that does depend on where the storm actually goes. This is Lake Charles. Low temperatures tonight into the high 60s, still in the 70s on the coast though. Not too many warnings over there, an isolated thunderstorm slight chance, as you can see. And over in Shreveport it looks like this as well, 30% chance of thunderstorms almost across the board, and low temperatures down into around 70 or so. As you can see, not too many warnings in terms of flooding or anything in that area right now. Don't forget the storm surge watch is in effect for significant parts of the coastline as well. That extends from Horseshoe Beach to the mouth of the Mississippi River. Here's the wind shear graphic. You can see how wind shear is somewhat lowering where the storm is right now, which may give it a window to develop into a tropical cyclone later. Here's some imagery from slightly earlier showing the swirl, which is in the Western Caribbean. That is Alberta right now, strictly speaking, but all of that associated with it is all of that moisture there. Huge plume of moisture now that's extending from southwest of the Cayman Islands all the way through Cuba into southern Florida, who are already experiencing rainfall from Alberta right now. But it all comes from that tiny swirl in the Western Caribbean Sea east of the Yucatan Peninsula under dry air intrusion. We'll have more updates on this storm as it progresses. You can find Force 13's website, force13.com, or you can follow us on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't already for more updates. You can also find our social platforms on Facebook and Twitter. Search Force 13 all in text. @Force13 is our handle on Twitter. You can also find Force 13's Skype account and add my personal account on Discord, Fool13, at extension 9094 for tropical weather chat. There will also be regular updates on Force 13's US channel, Force 13 US and Caribbean, where more regional weather news will be forthcoming.